Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, during World War II, what the Germans did to the Jewish population was absolutely horrible. And if they had succeeded in their quest to conquer the world, I have no doubt that they would have targeted Jews everywhere. So it's understandable that after World War II, the Jews wanted their own homeland, their own country. But the Palestinians did not participate in the Holocaust. They hadn't done anything wrong. And so regardless of whether they were sympathetic to the Jews or not, they really didn't owe them anything. Certainly not their country. Now, what would have been fair would have been to take some land from Germany as compensation and give it to the Jews for their state. But I guess it is understandable that they might not have wanted to live right next door to a bunch of Germans. And besides, there was this old book that told them that they used to live thousands of years ago in Palestine, except that they didn't. Aside from their religion, these Jews were not related at all to the people who once lived in Israel 2,000 years earlier. And even if they did, that would not have been a legal claim. They were Europeans who had no connection at all to the land of Palestine. So it's understandable that the Palestinians thought that a bunch of Europeans demanding that they give them their land was bullshit. So the Jews took it. At first they used acts of terrorism, such as blowing up trains and marketplaces. Sound familiar? But finally they did a large-scale invasion and took the land. And they have treated the Palestinians almost as badly as the Germans treated them ever since. So to begin with, as horrible as the Holocaust was, it did not legally entitle the Jews to claim land half a continent away. The only people who owed the Jews anything was the Germans. The Jews were not returning to their homeland. They were taking someone else's land. So regardless of how you feel about their tactics, the proper term for any Palestinian group that opposes the Israeli occupation is not terrorist. It is insurgent. Al-Qaeda is a terrorist group. ISIS is a terrorist group. Hamas and whatever other Palestinian groups there are insurgencies. Now, I wish that Hamas would give up their fantasy that they're going to somehow drive all the Jews out of what is now their home. It's not going to happen. But all that talk about how they're terrorists is not accurate. And the Israeli insistence that Hamas should recognize Israel's right to exist before any negotiations can happen is simply bullshit. Why should the Palestinians be forced to become accomplices to their own crime? It's kind of like insisting that a rape victim has to say that she wanted it. So, what both sides should do is put all that bullshit aside, sit down and talk, and find an agreement that they can live with. It doesn't matter if any Palestinian group accepts the right of Israel to exist, as long as they abide by the agreement. Thanks for listening.